Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York Town.
You are now watching the Amazing Mets PreGame Show with your hosts, Rob and CP.
Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!
What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the Amazing Mets PreGame Show right here on the channel. Yes, I am going solo today on this pregame, and there will be a postgame with only me today, as Chris is starting up his world tour once again and won't be available today, but I will have you covered for the pre, post, and a very special live, a very late edition. It's going to be a midnight Mets talk at midnight tonight. If you want to come and join and you ain't doing nothing on a Saturday night, hang out with us, and we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about just the overall perception of the Mets, the first half, the hot stove, the trade deadline, the All-Star game, the Nimmo and Lindor not being in the All-Star game, which is insane. We're going to talk about all that. So 3 shows today, pre, post, and a Mets midnight talk for everybody who wants to stay up late at night and talk about our New York Mets. Maybe we'll have a special guest, maybe not. Still working on that, but we'll see. So the Mets kind of made it interesting yesterday, as they were kind of coasting into the game, and then slowly but surely the Rockies started to come back little by little, and then it got very interesting. Then it was a 1-run ball game, and Diaz had to come in and close it out. He had a little bit of an issue, but at the end the Mets still won, and you dust it off, take the win, and go about your business, as the Mets are now a second wildcard team. 3 games over 500, looking to go 4 games over 500 today. And yes, I know I made another mistake. I love it. Yes. So pretty possible that Nimmo's playing center field today. I kind of another typo, guys. You guys know there better be a typo or there's something wrong, and the mojo is just not there. And listen, these are honest mistakes, right? I try to do this as quickly as possible. Once I get home from work, I try to do it as quickly as possible to get as much information as possible there. And and yes, thank you, 18 Mets. I appreciate that. It is Nimmo playing center field. So scratch that. Nimmo's playing center field. No, this is not 40-year-old softball where there's 2 left fielders. All right. So I do apologize for that. Nimmo is playing center field. So I love it. I love when you guys call me out. It makes my day better, right? Again, I try to put this together as quickly as possible. And yeah, I apologize. So where the hell was I? Okay, so the bullpen made it interesting once again. But the Mets, again, found a way to win, right? They scored enough runs, right? They did just enough to win the ball game bullpen-wise. That's it. That's it. That's the way I see it. I don't care how they won. We get caught up on how we won instead of asking the question of did we win? That's the whole thing that I don't know why people get really hooked on why we care about how we won instead of asking the question, did we win? After you get, did we win? Who cares? Right? Yeah, of course you're going to talk about it. You talk a little bit about the bullpen and everything. We know about the bullpen. We know, right? Phil Maton, look, he hung a slider. Excuse me, he hung a curveball. What are you going to do? Right? There's great pitchers that hang curveballs and hang sliders. He hung it and the guy crushed it. Right? One of the better power hitters in the Colorado Rockies lineup. Right? Wipe it off. Maton is going to be fine. Right? The bullpen is a work in progress. We all know that, right? If you don't have Buto and Nunez and Hauser, guys like that, on certain days, you're going to be going to guys that are not really trusted enough, right? Diekman once again, right? I thought he was going to, get a little bit better. He had a better outing the other night, and he came back yesterday just walking guys once again and getting hit hard. So this is a work in progress, right? And Izzy, he can be as aggressive as he wants. That doesn't mean teams are going to be trading arms yet. It's nothing's going on. Nothing's going to happen with quality arms until after the All-Star break, right? He was aggressive with Maton, right? Nobody saw that one coming, right? He got a guy that he targeted in the offseason who was having a down season, who started the pitch well over the last week and a half and got him. So that is being aggressive, right? That's being aggressive, but you can be as aggressive as you want. But if teams are not willing to give up the arms yet, and a lot of these teams that are not in it and are going to be trading away bullpen arms want competition for that bullpen arm. They don't want to just give them to the Mets. Because if the Mets have no competition, why would they have to up the offer or make a big offer for a big bullpen arm? They don't have to. They wouldn't have to because there's no competition for them yet. So it's not in the best interest. And I know we don't care about the other team, but it ain't in the best interest of, let's say, the Miami Marlins should trade Tanner Scott to the Mets just because the Mets are being aggressive trying to get an arm or a couple of arms in his bullpen. Right? David Stearns told you when he made the Maton trade and he spoke to reporters. He has been speaking to multiple teams along with the Rays for bullpen help. The Rays and the Mets trade scenario just opened up a little bit. So I don't know. What are you going to do? You just have to wait until after the trade deadline when you get closer. When teams start determining, all right, we're going to be sellers. And even the teams that know they're going to be sellers are not going to just trade their guys away when there's no competition for that guy yet because you're not getting the best offer possible. So I trust David Stearns to be aggressive. So we can't do nothing more about it except continue to bitch about it because it is an everyday scenario. It is an everyday thing, everyday topic, because every day, as soon as the starter comes out, we're like, oh boy, here we go. Like, how many runs do we have? Okay, we got 6 runs. Great. All right, we're up by 4. All right, can we hold a lead? Like, it's annoying. It's annoying to keep on running that in our heads every single game, but it's reality right now, right? Today, we'll have Buto, we'll have Hauser, we'll most likely have Nunez, maybe Danny Young. So we have enough guys to go. We have 2 guys in there that can definitely, or 3 guys in there that can definitely go multiple innings. What you need from Christian Scott, which you're probably going to get from Christian Scott, is around 80 to 85 pitches. They're on a pitch count with him. They're on an innings limit with him. We all don't like it, but guess what? That's another reality. Christian Scott is not going to go deep into the ballgame unless his pitch count is extremely low. He's coming out of this game around 80 to 85 pitches. They're not letting him go past 90 most likely. And if he's up there, it doesn't matter what inning he is. He's going out. That's it. So don't get shocked. I know people are going to bitch as soon as they take him out, regardless of when it is. He could be pitching great. He's coming out probably before 90 pitches. It's annoying. I don't like it, but they're protecting their young arm. And it's hard to kill him when this guy also had a very big scare last year with his elbow. You got to be careful. You can't be messing around with these guys because you don't want to go into next offseason and having to sign 4 starters instead of maybe 1 or 2. You need these guys not just for the present, but also for the future. You can't blow up their arms in a season when he was not expected to be a big part of this rotation in a competitive playoff race. Like the whole idea of bringing up Christian Scott and Tidwell, guys like that, and Vaso is because we thought we weren't going to be in it. That's when you bring those guys up so you can easily manage their innings and pitch count because the games don't matter. Well, the games matter. So Christian Scott got put in this situation, and the Mets got put in this situation with Christian Scott because of the Kodai Sengeji, because Tyler McGill can't hold a rotation spot. So he's in there now. So we have to deal with the limitations of Christian Scott. Regardless, he can be pitching a perfect game through 5 innings or 6 innings. He hits that 90 or 85 pitch limit. Maybe they'll push it to 88, maybe 90. He ain't going more than that, guys. So I'm telling you in advance because nobody wanted to listen to Mendoza or the broadcast during Christian Scott's last game. He wasn't going past 80 pitches. His max was 75. He finished up the last batter with 78 pitches. Nobody wanted to listen to it, and everybody went nuts when he took him out, when he told you he was. He told you to limit. So don't expect him to throw 100 pitches and go very deep into the ballgame unless his pitch count is extremely low. So expect that in advance. So you're probably there's already a plan in place with these Christian Scott starts. They clearly held on to Buto and Hauser specifically for a game like today with Christian Scott. Because if he doesn't have a high pitch count in the 5th inning, you can go to Buto, you can go to Nunez, you can go to Hauser for multiple innings. This is all set up for Christian Scott and his start. So let's get that out of the way. Now the lineup that everybody's complaining about, right? Nobody wants to see DJ Stewart in the lineup. Nobody wants to see Ben Gamble in the lineup. Why isn't Bader in there? Why isn't Iglesias in here? They both hit 2 home runs. Oh, why can't we do that? How do you reward these guys? Guys, calm down. All right? We got to calm down. First off, you can't have guys on your roster. Mendoza doesn't have control, or he doesn't have exclusive control of who's on the roster. That's David Stearns. When Mendoza comes into the clubhouse and he sees the roster and you got DJ Stewart, you got Ben Gamble, you got to play these guys occasionally. You can't just sit them on the bench and never play them. So you're playing with 24 guys, and if you need a guy to come up ice cold on the bench who hasn't played in a week, what do you expect from the guy? So you got to play these guys. It was either going to be playing them today or playing them tomorrow. Pick one. Doesn't matter. Right? You kind of got your Sunday lineup. Not really. You kind of got a couple of guys of your Sunday lineup on a Saturday game. So tomorrow you'll have Bader back in and you'll have Iglesias back in. So it was either or. You were going to see these guys either today or tomorrow. So you got your Sunday lineup today. What's the difference? There is no difference. You were going to get them either way. So they're giving them today for Iglesias. And by the way, guys, these guys can come off the bench if need be. Right? You know what's the best case scenario? The Mets are cruising to a victory with the Ben Gambles and the DJ Stewarts in the lineup, and you don't have to use Iglesias or Bader or Alvarez, and they get a full day's rest. So we were going to see this lineup with a couple of guys out of it either today or tomorrow. Usually it's a Sunday, but you got it on a Saturday. Yeah, Junior, I'm not too worried about playing Nimmo in center field. Nimmo has shown you he's been exceptionally better than we seen him 3-4 years ago. he's fine in center field, right? Look, Bader is just a better overall outfielder, but Nimmo is perfectly fine in center field. He doesn't play there a lot. He's a corner outfielder now, mostly a left fielder. He occasionally plays center field when Bader's not playing. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to go crazy. It's one day. So, yeah, Nimmo plays his best defense at center field. I don't think he's an elite center fielder. I think he's a very good center fielder. He is an elite left fielder because I think he's more capable of being a left fielder because, yes, he can get – see, the whole thing is Nimmo plays very deep, right? The analytics told him that he isn't very good going back on balls. He's great at coming in on balls. So what do you do in that sense? You play him more deeper in center field so he can get back on balls better, which he has. He can get to left field, left center field, and right center field gaps better, to straight center field better, because it's less steps getting to either one of those three left, right, center, and center field behind him when the ball is behind him. So that made him better. So his reaction time doesn't have to be as quick if he was playing more shallower, which he did over his first 3 or 4 seasons as the everyday starter. So I'm not too worried about that. But again, guys, you got a Sunday lineup on Saturday. Tomorrow, everybody will be happy with the lineup because Alvarez will be back in there. Bader will be back in there. Iglesias will be back in there. So you got the Sunday lineup today. That's it. It was going to happen. You can't sit these guys on the bench and not play them all week. You just can't do that. You're playing with 24 guys at that point. Here's the way I see it. And this is a little positive take. I know I don't say a lot of positive things, but here's a positive take. You got Alvarez, Bader, and Iglesias all ready to pinch hit if need be. The hope is you don't have to worry about using them at all. And the Mets take care of business. That's it. Yeah, but Daniel, it's like a Sunday lineup. That's all it is. That's it. It was going to eventually happen today or tomorrow. So, look, listen. If the top 4 don't do their job, there's a pretty good chance the Mets are not going to win anyway. Right? We're so concerned about the bottom of the order. Right? And what I like about where DJ Stewart is one reason. He's going to see more fastballs because the pitcher is not going to want to walk him to get the Mark Vientos. That is a good spot for DJ Stewart because it's right in front of Mark Vientos, who is crushing the ball right now. And the pitcher is not going to want to let DJ Stewart get on base and walk him, so he's going to challenge him. So it's up to DJ Stewart when the pitcher challenges him with those fastballs and those strikes to do damage and make the pitcher pay because he doesn't want to get the Mark Vientos by walking DJ Stewart. So that's a good spot for DJ Stewart. I know people are like, why would you bat him 5th? Well, if you bat Vientos 5th, okay, that would be fine with me. I'm not going to go crazy. But putting him in behind DJ Stewart is going to give him more pitches to see. And the idea of that is to get DJ Stewart going a little bit. I know everybody wants him off the team, right? But the same Mets fans who was going goo gaga for DJ Stewart last year are the same ones bitching today. You see the problem with that? Sorry. All I heard, oh, we got to sign DJ Stewart. Oh, he's got to play. He's got to be on this team. He deserves it. He should be here. Well, you got him. Right now, he's on the roster. How about try to get him going instead of burying him on the bench and not playing him at all? And then if you need him in a spot late in the game to pinch hit for whatever reason, he's a little bit more ready to go than ice cold who hasn't played in a week. You can't keep these guys on the bench and shorten up your roster. We've seen what happens when you shorten up your roster. We've seen it with the bullpen. When Diaz was suspended, they were down a bullpen arm already. You can't shrink your position player roster because you don't like to see these guys playing. It happens. Everybody does it. Guys get days off. And by the way, guys, what is Harrison Bader's biggest problem of his career? Staying healthy. You still got 70 games to go, or 68 games to go. 68 games to go. We got a whole second half. You can't get Harrison Bader hurt. The whole situation with Severino, same thing. Right? Iglesias, he's a journeyman. He's an older player. You don't want to get these guys hurt who has been performing. You can't play these guys every single day. You can't. So it's like, it's understandable. Look, nobody wants to see DJ Stewart, but he's on the roster, right? I don't want to see DJ Stewart come up in a spot to pinch hit because there's a righty on the mound and he hasn't picked up a bat in a week. Doesn't make sense. You were gonna get a Sunday lineup tomorrow anyway. Would you rather see no Sunday lineup today and a Sunday lineup tomorrow so you can bitch later on tomorrow? No, probably, right? But it doesn't matter. The fact is, you got to get them going. If they're on your roster, you got to find a way to jumpstart them. You can't bury them on the bench. It doesn't work like that. You can't have a manager play with 24 guys and a shortened bench. Doesn't work. Does not work. And again, if the top of the order doesn't do any damage, you're probably in trouble anyway. So get it done. Yeah, Daniel, I understand that, but it's two guys. Two. That's all it is. It's not 4 or 5 guys. Now, so you got to understand, it's not like Nimmo's not playing today and JD Martinez is not playing today, or 2 or 3 of your top 4 guys not playing today. That would be a different story. But we're talking about Jose Iglesias and Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader, who you need to keep healthy. We forget about this or don't care that the majority of his career has been injury prone. This guy has been one of the clutchest hitters on this team, who has been a godsend, who everybody laughed at giving Harrison Bader $10 million. You remember that offseason? You remember in that offseason what happened when we signed him? Laughed. Oh, gave $10 million for Harrison Bader. Can't stay healthy, right? The same nonsense I heard with Severino. Same thing. You got to keep these guys healthy. If you like them so much and they've been so productive, they're good players. You got to keep them healthy because their careers have shown that they don't stay healthy. So you got to manage them. God, Bader's playing 6 days a week. One day isn't going to hurt anybody. I understand splitting it up a little bit, but it's 2 guys who is batting 5th and 7th, not 1 and 2 or 3 or 4. Like I can bitch more if 2 or 3 of our top guys in the top of the order is not playing. Then we can say, okay, that's kind of crazy. But it's not the case. If you can't win with Lindor, Nimmo, Martinez, Alonso, and Vientos in this lineup, then what are we talking about here? And Anthony Subway to Shea, make sure you always subscribe to him and follow him and check out his shows. He's right. It's time for Pete Alonso to have a day. This is the type of game where everybody's complaining about the lineup, where Pete Alonso can actually put this team on his back for once this year. How about that? Right? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, I love talking about that. The fact of the matter is, isn't this a game where Pete Alonso can put this whole lineup on his back today and say, hey, guys, don't worry about it. Ben Gamel, DJ Stewart, I'll take care of it. Would love that, right? I would love that. Pete Alonso, hear me. You probably won't, but hear me. I want egg on my face. I want to come in the post game. All the criticism I give you, shut me up. Because I will not shut up if you continue to fail in the big spots. When I say put the team on your back, and I see Nimmo do it, Lindor do it, Martinez do it, shit, Vientos do it. Where are you? It's about time you step up. This whole team has been carrying your ass the whole season. Harrison Bader has been carrying you. Jose Iglesias has had more big hits than you, and he's been here a month. The fact is, do better. We know you're capable of it. All of us. Let's go. 4 home runs in 30 games. That's not cutting it for a guy who is supposed to be one of the premier power hitters in all of baseball. Do it. I know you're capable of it. You deserve criticism right now because you're the one guy in the middle of this lineup that has been, as some people says, fine. He's been fine. Well, I'm not expecting you to be fine. I'm expecting you to be great, right? You want to be paid like a great player. You want to be paid. You want to be respected within the league because half the league believes you're a joke. It's a fact. Did you remember that overrated list where players voted and Pete Alonso was in the top 5? People don't respect Pete Alonso because they think he's a doofus who only hits for power. And when he struggles, and a lot of his power and a lot of his home runs come in meaningless at-bats and meaningless home runs. Show me something. Let's go. It's game 94. Let's go. I don't want to hear, oh, you know, he's a big Met. He's this. I don't want to hear it. The fact is, you haven't been good enough this year. You were the main problem. You were one of the main problems earlier in the season. But I seen Nimmo. I seen Lindor. I even seen JD Martinez, who started off slow. Pick it up. Get to their next level. That's what I want to see with Pete Alonso. That's what I want to see. Give me a 3 RBI day. Pick up your teammates. Pick up Ben Gamel and DJ Stewart. This is where you got to shine. Beat up on the Rockies. Pete Alonso looked terrible yesterday with a guy who had a 7 ERA. And Feltner isn't that much better. That's it. I'm not just looking for home runs. Drive the ball in the gap. How about getting a base hit with runners on? Have productive at-bats. Even if you don't get a base hit, move the runner over. Get him into scoring position or get him to third with less than 2 outs. Simple things like that. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Well, I don't think they're jealous or envy of him. I just think that they don't respect him because here's the problem. He's a New York athlete where Mets fans go goo goo gaga for him, and they make him like a superstar where he's not a superstar. He's a star, absolutely, but never in the MVP conversation, never one of the top 5 players in baseball. And we treat him like he's one of them. And it's silly. And I'm not saying he's not a really good player. But I'm sorry. Now you're not anymore because you kind of went into the background and let Nimmo and Lindor basically take over everything while you're in the background. And I'll tell you this right now. If the Mets weren't winning, Pete Alonso should be the main criticism and the focus. But we're winning right now, so nobody really cares. But I've seen over the last couple of weeks, I'm glad everybody joined on that bandwagon, the criticism throughout social media, at least a little bit, from people who never criticized Pete Alonso, are finally starting to realize that he's not doing so well. And it's not like we're rooting against him. Honest to God, guys, I'm not sitting there waiting for Pete Alonso to fail or hoping he fails so it makes me look good. I want to look like a fool, right? Nimmo made me look like a fool, and I love it. You know why? Because I was wrong. Did I ever think Nimmo can be this good? No. And most of you guys were subscribers when I brought that up about Nimmo many times. Nimmo made me have egg on my face. And I appreciate that because I don't want to be right about this crap. I don't. I guarantee you, if DJ Stewart hits 2 home runs and gets 3 RBIs today, we all look stupid today. But I just want Pete Alonso to do well because it doesn't benefit just him. It benefits the team. I don't care who does the job. As long as the Mets win, I'm okay. But it's getting to the point where Pete Alonso is leaving an army on base in a week. Oh, don't worry. I was gonna bring up Nimmo because I know I was very harsh on Nimmo. Nimmo got to another level where I didn't think he could. And I don't treat Alonso like a bum. I treat him like Met fans who treat him like a superstar. And if you're going to treat him like a superstar and make him act like a superstar and make him claim he's a superstar, then I'm going to give him superstar treatment. And superstars get criticized. Just because a lot of Met fans, not all, but a lot of them are afraid to do so, it looks bad for the people who do. And everybody knows who they are. Right? It was like the whole Dominic Smith, the Dom squad. You can never say anything bad about Dominic Smith. And then he's basically irrelevant as a Met, right? He's with Boston now, but still, you know what I mean? So, like, I appreciate fans who criticize guys that should be criticized. Like, I know myself, I don't like to criticize the 25th man, the 25th guy on the roster. I will, but why put the final nail in his coffin when I have other guys I can criticize who are supposed to be the big boys of this team, right? I know because I've seen it on Hector's X account many times. I seen him at a game. I thought he was going to jump on the field and strangle Ottavino the first couple of games of the season this year at Citi Field. Pacing all back and forth. I know Hector, CP, hey, they all do it. And I love that they criticize because they're passionate. They love it. And I know a lot of you guys do, but there's enough of you that don't criticize the guys that should be criticized, right? Everybody would be quick to jump to Lindor and not do it with Alonso, who was having just as bad as a start. And listen, you criticize both of them, great. But there was way too much heavy criticism on Lindor other than Alonso, and it was just nuts. I got fed up with it. But I appreciate the fact that guys who shut me up, because we would all like to get shut up, right? We all would, right? People are criticizing DJ Stewart. If DJ Stewart goes 3 for 4 today with a couple of RBIs, I think we would be okay with all of us looking stupid. Why is he in the lineup, right? Why not? He gave us runs. If we win the ball game, it's just icing on the cake. Same thing with Ben Gamel, right? You got to play these guys. You can't just bury them on the bench. You're damn right, Hector. I was going to bring it up because right now, right, it's a perfect time to criticize Pete Alonso. He hasn't been, like, I don't want to hear somebody say, oh, he's been fine. But I appreciate all the criticism I get. It's fun, right? What do I always tell you guys? I'll be here. I want you guys to call me out. If I'm wrong, if I put a typo up there, which I did today, again, right? Call me out. I have no problem, right? Because if I'm wrong in criticizing, or if I'm wrong getting on a player and he proves me wrong, you know who that benefits? The Mets. I don't care if it doesn't benefit me. If it gets the Mets a win, if it makes me look stupid, great. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here in the post game. I'll be doing a midnight show tonight to talk about our Mets for our people who can't sleep, like myself. People who work overnight, who have to be sleeping right now because they work late shifts. I'll be here tonight, midnight, talking about our Mets. Win or lose, right? You know who I haven't seen a lot of? Where are the Braves fans? Philly fans are quiet. They should be. They're the best team in baseball. Right? I haven't seen the Brave fans. And I usually have a lot of Brave fans here. Love to come on my channel and just destroy me. But it is what it is. So, we got a game in about less than an hour. I know people don't like the lineup. I said in the beginning of the show, because I want everybody to expect it. I don't want to hear in the post game or during the game, late in the game, on X, when people are like, oh, why did Christian Scott get taken out of the game? He's pitching so well. Well, haven't you been paying attention? There is going to be pitch limit, a pitch count, and innings limit on Christian Scott. Mostly pitch count. I don't think innings matter as long as his pitch count is kind of low. If he got 65 pitches in the 7th inning, he'll be pitching. But if he got 90 or 85 in the 5th, he's probably going to be gone, regardless of the situation. I just want everybody to be aware of that. I said it earlier on for the people who just came in or hasn't been here in it from the beginning. Christian Scott will be taken out when there's probably between 85 pitches. Maybe they'll stretch it if he's on that batter. Maybe it's close to 90. But he's gone out of the game. I don't care if he has a perfect game. They're taking him out. If you can take out Paul Skeens, you can take out Christian Scott. That's it. There's going to be a limit. Just know that, guys, going into this. That's why House is available. The Mets, Mendoza did the best he can to prepare for Christian Scott starts. That's a tongue twister. Right? You got Hauser, you got Buto, you got Nunez. All three can go multiple innings. So if Christian Scott has a high pitch count in the 5th, you got those guys, to at least one or two of them, or maybe even one, to get you through a couple of innings. So it's set up where you got to have a guy in a bullpen ready to go for multiple innings. Somebody, one of those guys, are going to come in and pitch 2, maybe 3 innings. And either Nunez definitely can go 2. I don't know about 3, but Hauser and Buto can definitely do it. So it's just a matter of probably matchups, or whoever Mendoza feels is the right guy to put in at that spot to go multiple innings. So just remember that, guys. Because I know I'm going to hear it. When Christian Scott comes out of the game, it's probably going to be in the 5th or the 6th. I hope the 7th, right? But if he comes out in the 5th or the 6th, regardless of the situation, he can have 2 outs in the 6th inning. If he's got 85 plus pitches, he is coming out. That's it. Just to make sure, okay? I don't want to get everybody riled up, but it's probably going to happen in this game. So just expect it, please. Because people went crazy his last start when everybody should have known, because they told you on the broadcast. Mendoza told you before the game, and Mendoza told you the post game the night before that this was going to happen when the question came up. So just please expect it. So the Mets are 3 games over 500. Doesn't that sound nice? They're tied for the 2nd wild card. And ooh, I'm getting greedy. Atlanta Braves, we're coming for you, baby. I'm telling you, right? I know Hector got riled up on the round table when I said it. My final thoughts on the round table was, Braves, we're coming for you. Maybe not, but I feel good. You know why? Because we faced the Braves 10 more times. Technically 11. No, excuse me. Yeah, 11. 10 more times, if I'm not mistaken. Right? 9 or 10, but a hell of a lot of games. That is, every game won is like 2 games. You gain a game on the win column and the loss column. So let's win today. Be 49-45. 4 games over 500. Win another series and look for the sweep tomorrow. Because I'm telling you this right now. If the Mets end this first half going 6-0 on the homestand, sweeping the Nationals and the Rockies, Met fans during this All-Star game, during this All-Star break, is going to be excited beyond imaginable. I know this for a fact. I'm excited now talking about it. You think the great content creators for our Mets are hyped now? Wait until the All-Star break if we sweep the Rockies. Starts with today with the series win. And then we talk about the sweep tomorrow. But if we do that, best case scenario going 6-0 on the homestand, that is ending the first half, 50 wins, 5 games over 500, probably closer to the Braves, definitely in the second wildcard spot, and in prime position for the second half with Kodai Senga coming back. Trade deadline talk. What is Stearns going to do? Who's he looking at? Tanner Scott, Carlos Estevez, maybe other bullpen arms. Reinforcements are coming. Sean Reed Foley coming back. Senga coming back. Reinforcements are coming. Marte should be back most likely in August, early August. We're getting reinforcements. Not only what Stearns is going to do at the deadline, because I trust David Stearns to do what he needs to do to make this team better going down the stretch run to make a playoff spot. You know that competitive talk that Cohen and Stearns talked about? This is what he meant. Not, oh, let's try to hover around 500 and, look okay. No. They talked about making the playoffs. People didn't want to hear that. They just want to hear about competitiveness and the lack of offseason moves, which wasn't big-time names, but there was a lot of quality signings. And as Elgood just said, trust in Stearns. Why? Because he gives you no reason not to. You laughed at Severino signing. You laughed at the Bader signing, the Manaea signing. Right? This guy knows what he's doing. Give him a chance. This is his first deadline with the Mets. We can criticize him after the deadline if he doesn't do what needs to be done. Right? The same way we criticize Billy Epler. Same way we criticize Sandy Alderson. We can criticize David Stearns. But stop criticizing him when he's basically inherited the majority of this team, at least the big names. Had to put a rotation together because Scherzer was gone and Verlander was gone. A couple of guys were free agents. So we had to put a whole new rotation together with duct tape and was not trying to overpay and extend years to pitchers when you have a couple of young arms coming up and a couple of really good starters in the free agent market in this offseason. So he didn't handcuff you this year, but gave you an opportunity and gave options to himself and the organization. If things go bad, he has a lot of trade assets. If things go good, that means his signings have done well. And he can add because the Mets have a surplus in a farm system now where they have guys that they can use. And I'm going to say this right now. Brett Beatty is going to be on the market. And, there's 2 teams that I think are going to try to get him. Brett Beatty for Luzardo was a talk of the offseason. The Mets didn't want to do it. I understand that. They were trying to give Beatty one more chance. I get it. But I can tell you this. You think the Marlins are going to shy away from Brett Beatty who has 4 more years of control and the potential still to get a guy like Tanner Scott? I do that trade right now. We'll see if that's the case. But we're not there yet. You know where we are? 48-45, game number 94 of the season. Mets look to win another series with Christian Scott on the mound, with the lineup nobody likes, with the City Connect jerseys on today, Grimace purple, 7-line purple. Let's get that win. Let's finish the first half strong, and let's talk more Mets baseball in the postgame after a Mets win. With that said, guys, that's another amazing Mets pregame show in the books. I'll see you after the game on the Mets postgame show right here on the channel with just myself because CP is on his world tour. Hopefully he's having a good time and getting to his destination safe. But you know he's rooting on our team. Ready to go crazy on X, on social media, on his community page, on YouTube, all over the place. You know he'll be rooting for him wherever he is right now on his world tour. With that said, everybody enjoy the game. Let's go Mets. I'll see you on the post-game show. And don't forget, tonight, late night, midnight show. The show is going to be called the Mets Midnight Talk. For all you late goers who might go to work late overnight. For all you guys who can't sleep, come join the show, Mets Midnight Talk, midnight, to talk about our New York Mets and everything that we need to talk about with our team. With that said, have a great day. Enjoy the game on this Saturday. Let's go Mets, and I'll see you after the game, guys. Have a good day.